Showing it the overrated and overhyped enemy of the Titan. Now, before you start bombarding the comment section and canceling me, don't hear me out. I'm saying this despite being a huge mono fan. In fact, I have read the novel after the end of Titan 1 of the mono, not because I loved the teeth and could not wait for Titan 2. But not because I enjoyed the teeth doesn't mean it's the best mono out there, and its enemy adapter is not the best enemy coming the Titan. But before I tell you why I think so, let me give a little synopsis of the enemy for those who did not know. In the surviving world, around 10 years ago, gates that are connected to different worlds or dungeons started to appear. And to fight these gates, women started to awaken magical power. They are known as hunters. Our main character, Sung Jinwoo, is the weakest hunter in the world. He is too weak that he gets injured even in the usual tank dungeon. But he drives competitive strength after being brutally slaughtered by monsters in a double dungeon. Jinwoo unlocks a system that helps him level up and become strong. While other hunters are stuck in the level when they awaken their power, Jinwoo is the only hunter who can become stronger and stronger with the help of system. So he used this system to become the strongest hunter out there, and along the way we see a lot of action, facts, power up, and the best part of the team, the beat up and the satisfaction that you get when that beat up finally delivers what it promised. That is not superb. It is one of those stories where every single beat up and dot where it needs to be, with double the result from what you expect from it. Even though I played it did more, the sad part is the story is not that great. It is not outright bad, but it's not great either. It's just a bit. It's just what it needs to, but compared to other normal and enemy out there, it does how to take it. As a huge surviving fan who has been playing it from when there are only around 50 chapters out, it pains me to say it, but we cannot even compare it. When I say compare, I mean we talk about the greatest story out there in both enemy and manhwa. Because when we say surviving is the greatest enemy coming the Titan and it's the greatest manhwa, then we have to compare it with the greatest in its field. And when we do that, then surviving is not even close to those greatest stories in both fields. But if we compare it with its kind, like enemy or manhwa with either system, action or power fantasy, then we can say it's good. If I had to give my opinion about the story, I would say it is decent. And moving on to the animation, at first when I watched the fourth episode, I was quite disappointed. It's better with how they animated the end sequence in the fourth film. I know it's anime original, but if they animated the ant fight in District 2, Iron Arc, not like this, it will completely ruin the effect. I mean, don't look at it. It's the peak art in the manhwa, and you get the ant fight in the enemy. Did not you get some random isekai enemy? But then did it the enemy only part and the best part of the fourth art. The Itmai is not shown in the fourth episode. I was like, yet to wait for the another episode and see how they will animate this epic Itmai. Wait, my hope was not get for this, not because of that one, that end sequence, even though the rest of the episode was animated very well. So 1 week later, when I got to see that it was perfect. For me, it was not the best as I still of the manhwa one, just because of how many times I have seen it and the attachment that I have with this manhwa. But if I have to forget about the manhwa and just look at it from the first time enemy water, or do to have only it manhwa one time perspective, I would say it's perfect down to the last minute detail. But I don't know why I cannot attempt to forget the manhwa, and every week I watch the new episode, I quantity or unconsciously compare it with the manhwa. Even in the TV, I didn't want to compare it with the manhwa, but I don't know why I have compared it multiple times. Well, I will try not to compare it now. Talking about overall animation quality, I would say except for that ant part in episode 1, I was not disappointed anyway. Every new episode is a step up from the art. The animation does keep improving with each episode. Now moving on to music. Yuki Tawano does nailed it. It's just what I expect from him. The music is the heart of the series. It does elevate the entire enemy to whole another level. Do you remember when I said I did not have high hope for the episode 2? When I started watching the second episode, I was hoping to be it be good. Then at that moment, the opening song started, and that just set my mood right into it. I forgot about everything, and my full focus was on the music. It was epic. While saying this, I would say that this is not the best work of Yuki Sawano, but it's perfect for touring. I have zero complaint about the music. In conclusion, if I have to say, surviving is a little overhyped enemy and manhwa. I'm saying a little because of how much I enjoyed and loved this series, and of course I do not want to get cancelled. And it is one of the best power fantasy this season. But will I count it as the greatest or best manhwa or enemy?
Absolutely fucking not.
It's not best in beating up a movement, and the payoff of the movement is just a banger. And yet not talk about the fact that that's just perfect. So would I recommend this enemy? Absolutely fucking yes. But If you are hoping for some deep tea at Itoi, then this might not be it for you. But I would it may not have the best Itoi out there. I would ask you to give it a try. Don't make sure to keep your expectation or you for the Itoi aspect of the tea.